Hello and welcome. You're watching Business Today Television. I'm Sakshi Batra and this is your favorite show, Daily Calls, a show that addresses all your stock-related queries. In case you're watching this show for the first time, over the next 50 minutes, top market experts will get down to answering all your questions. So in case you have those queries about the stocks in your portfolio, newer stocks have come onto your radar, and in this market fall, you do not know what is the right strategy to follow, well, send all those doubts and queries to us on the WhatsApp number that's flashing on your screen. Send in along with your name, your location and your contact details so that you can directly talk to our guests as well on this show live. And we already have a lot of queries that are pouring in from all our viewers. Kamlesh Narkhede, Anuj Singh, Roshan Pradhan, Rishikesh, Ankur Modi, Sandeep Pancharya, Swati, all of you are joining in. So warm welcome to all of you and thank you so much for already beginning to write into all of the queries for our viewers, for our guests today. And let me now quickly introduce our guest of the day for all of you who will be taking up all your questions. We have with us Mr. Aditya Agarwal, Head of Research and Investment at investforedu.com, joining right in. Aditya, warm welcome. Good to have you with us. Well, the markets are still not looking good. We actually have slipped now closer to 23,700 odd levels, 181 points lower in trade. Are we going to see severe downside from here on now that 23,800 has been breached and 23,700 is just upon us?
Afternoon, Sakshi. Always a pleasure to be on the show. Talking of the market, yes, if you are a bull, there is definitely pain for you. And I think the pain has just intensified over the last two trading sessions. Yesterday, we saw almost a 300-point cut on the Nifty and 200-point cut in today's trading session. Almost near the 200 DMA, Sakshi, I think that is going to be the key support area, which is 23,500. Now that we are below 23,800, which was the previous support area. So I think 23,500 is something that our viewers should keep a close eye on. That happens to be the 200 DMA. Even if 200 DMA breaks, I think market will not see a significant correction from here on, maybe 100, 200 point further. Let me put it, the large caps have seen a major correction already. I don't see a further catastrophic kind of a correction in large caps from here on. Markets will start to find its feet soon, give or take another 200, 300 points. Large caps will at least start to find its feet soon, and the Nifty, Bank Nifty will be the ones to start outperforming from here on. But yes, as far as broader markets are concerned, I think some pain is still left there. So be a little selective in your stock picking. If you are looking at large caps, definitely you can start building portfolios slowly and gradually. Mid cap, small cap, you have to be very stock specific and keep in mind the correction is not yet over in the mid cap and the small cap space because the outperformance was significant. So the correction will also be higher in this space.
Okay, got it. So that's the overall view on the markets, viewers. 23,700 has been breached on the lower side. We're at 23,696 now. We'll see how it goes on forward from here. A lot of you have started writing in your queries, so we'll not waste any time and start taking up those. Kamlesh wants to know on M&M, Aditya. His question is that he's been holding about 20 shares, about 1524 is his purchase level. And the other one is also from the auto space, but the two-wheeler space, TVS Motors. He's been holding this stock at 2355. और ये कह रहे हैं कि लॉन्ग टर्म के लिए लिया हुआ है, अभी एवरेज करें या फिर और करेक्शन का वेट करें. M&M और TVS Motors दोनों में आपकी क्या सलाह रहेगी?
पहले हम M&M बात कर लेते हैं साक्षी. I think a very strong outperformance and excellent buy price as well. I think he's bought somewhere around 1,500, 1,600 odd levels and is sitting on decent gains. And I think stock is still in a strong uptrend. But within that uptrend, it is witnessing some kind of a consolidation and a correction. And this corrective move is not over yet. I think stock can slide all the way down to 2,600 maybe or 2,500. Those are good levels to start nibbling into the stock if you're looking to buy more into M&M. And you should definitely look at buying more into M&M because if you take a look at their numbers, their performance has been excellent. The chart structure is also good, just that an intermediate correction is going on in the stock. So wait it out somewhere around 2,600 or 2,500, revisit and take a call and you can start buying into the stock. As far as TVS Motors is concerned, actually there is some bit of a profit booking and corrective move that we are seeing in TVS Motor and that can deepen from here on. यहाँ से और गहरा सकता है ये correction. मुझे लग रहा है एक बार थोड़ा avoid करना चाहिए. 2200 से 2100 का नेक्स्ट सपोर्ट जोन है TVS मोटर्स पे और अगर वहां पे आता है तो फिर आप एक अपॉर्चुनिटी ढूंढ सकते हैं लॉन्ग लेने के लिए. हड़बड़ा है ना TVS मोटर्स में लॉन्ग लेने के लिए, उससे बेटर चार्ट स्ट्रक्चर M&M का है.
Okay, got that. So दोनों में ही आपको राय मिल गई है कमलेश जी. I hope that you follow the advice that's been shared by Aditya for you. We have the next caller with us. Sai from Hyderabad is with us on the phone line. Hi Sai, good afternoon. Go on with your question.
Good afternoon. Actually, I hold defense stocks of BDL, HL, Mazagon Dock at the rate. I mean, BDL is about 1200 rupees and HL at 3400 level and Mazagon Dock at 4000 level. So actually,
Okay.
I wanna sell off because of this call. What should I do? What should an midterm investor do in this situation?
Okay, long-term investor holding a lot of these defense stocks in the portfolio. This space has definitely had the worst blow in the recent correction in the markets. BDL, HAL, Mazagon Dock. All these stocks have had a one-way rally when the defense stocks were in favor, Aditya, but they are now all reeling under severe pressure. BDL now at 994, bought at 1200. HL is right now hovering around 4000, 4100 odd levels. It's the purchase price for SAI is around 4,300 odd levels, and Mazagon Dock he's purchased at 4,065 odd levels. Your sense?
So Sakshi, definitely we have seen a massive correction in all these defense names, and they'd run up significantly as well. So it was on cards that these stocks will correct. But from here on, if you have slightly medium to longer term time horizon, I think these are good levels to get into the stock. If you've already bought it, hold on to it. Don't get carried away by the fact that the markets are correcting. These stocks are also correcting. I think it's almost on the verge of a turnaround. If I talk about BDL, HAL specifically, both these stocks are near very important support levels. On BDL, 970 is a very good support area. Sakshi, I think from here on stock can turn around. So if you're looking to average, maybe if it comes closer to about 970 and holds on to those areas, you can look to average and buy more. As far as HAL is concerned, I think so this is also one stock which has already seen a significant correction, can slide all the way down to 4,000, 3,900 odd levels. But again, I don't see too much of a correction in HAL as well. So both these stocks are looking good after a correction. Continue to hold on to them. You have to wait it out for some time before they see a turnaround, but they will soon see a turnaround. Talking of Magnodog, that I think is something which will have further declines from here on as well. So 3,500 is 3,600 is where I'm looking at a decline on Magnodog. If you're looking to exit from the stock, maybe put a stop loss closer to about 3,800. That happens to be the immediate support level, because if that is broken, stock can slide all the way down to 3,500. So as far as Masgao Dock is concerned, 3,500 should be a stop loss. As far as HAL and BDL is concerned, continue to hold. I don't see any reason to panic at these levels now.
Yeah, I hope, Sai, this has really given you a lot of clarity as far as all your defense portfolio stocks are concerned. Aditya has really broken them down simply for you to really have each one of those strategies separate. So please do follow the advice that's been shared by Aditya right there. Let's take the next question. This is from Roshan Pradhan. He says, क्या टाटा मोटर्स में फ्रेश एंट्री लेनी चाहिए और एल्स आप बता दीजिए कि कौन से लेवल पर एंट्री कर सकते हैं. टाटा मोटर्स हैज़ बीन वन ऑफ द स्टॉक्स विच हैज़ अगेन बीन एन आउट परफॉर्मर investors portfolio in all of 2024, but in the recent downturn again 800 has been tested. Your own sense, what should one be seen here?
Sakshi, I think there could be some more downside in Tata Motors. I don't rule out a level of 700 on Tata Motors, which would be another 10% decline from current levels. If he's looking to just for a trading pop, then maybe he can look at Tata Motors from current levels and can see a level of 850 to about 810 on the upside. But if he's looking to build a portfolio in Tata Motors, I think he can still wait out for some more time. Closer to about 700 to about 740 is where I would suggest start nibbling into the stock. Otherwise, right now, if you're looking for a long-term bet, just avoid at current levels.
Okay, got it. 700 to 740 would be the right time for you to start looking at the stock from a long-term purchase, stock as well. We have a caller with us. Rahul Yadav is with us on the phone line. Rahul, good afternoon. How are you? From where are you calling?
नमस्ते मैम, मैं इंदौर से बोल रहा हूँ.
Okay.
Tell me. मैम मैं एक शेयर के बारे में जानना चाहता हूँ, दो शेयर के बारे में एक्चुअली. क्रेडिट एक्सेस ग्रामीण और तनला प्लेटफॉर्म. क्या इन शेयर में अभी लॉन्ग टर्म के लिए अभी इन्वेस्ट किया जा सकता है?
ग्रासिम तो मुझे समझ में आया. दूसरा स्टॉक क्या है?
क्रेडिट एक्सेस ग्रामीण एंड
क्रेडिट एक्सेस ग्रामीण
प्लेटफॉर्म. जी मैम, तनला प्लेटफॉर्म्स एंड क्रेडिट एक्सेस
प्लेटफॉर्म. ओके, क्रेडिट एक्सेस ग्रामीण एंड टाडला प्लेटफॉर्म्स पे आप करंट लेवल्स पर खरीदना चाह रहे हैं. ठीक है, पूछ लेते हैं हमारे गेस्ट से दोनों ही स्टॉक्स पर उनको क्या लगता है. क्रेडिट एक्सेस ग्रामीण में भी अगर हम देखें तो काफ़ी डिक्लाइन इस साल में देखने को मिला है स्टॉक में. करंटली इट्स हॉवरिंग अराउंड 896 ऑड लेवल्स. एंड टाडला प्लेटफॉर्म्स फ्रॉम द मिड कैप IT स्पेस, डू यू थिंक देयर इज सम काइंड ऑफ एन अपसाइड दैट वन कुड लुक एट फ्रॉम द करंट लेवल्स हियर?
Unfortunately, no, Sakshi. Both these stocks are an avoid for me. If he's looking into something like a small finance company, look at Awas Financial. That has a better prospect of going up as compared to Credit Access Grameen. So I would recommend looking at Awas Financials. And yes, you'll have to wait it out for at least 6 months to about a year's time to see good outperformance in all these companies, because the kind of uptick and offtake that these companies are seeing is has slowed down. So, which is why you will not see any immediate upside as far as small financial companies are concerned. But yes, if one has to pick something, Avas is something that I would go for. Talking of Tanla Solutions, no, I think I would completely avoid the stock because stock is still in a downtrend, constantly makes lower lows, lower highs, and I think there is some more downside in the stock before it sees any turnaround. And I think actually he asked about Grasim as well. So if he's
Grasim.
looking at entering into Grasim, yes, these are not bad levels, but again, don't go into buying Grasim all in one go. Look at staggered buying. If you're looking to invest 100 rupees, maybe 25 rupees, you should put at current levels. And all the way down to 2300 is where I think you should deploy all your funds into Grasim.
Okay, got it. Let's take up the next question. I hope, Rahul, you've got the answer to all the three questions of yours. Let's take in another question. This is from Swati. He shares, hello ma'am. Berger Paints at 598 is what I purchased. Should I average at the current levels or wait more? What would your suggestion be? Again, paint space is something that has been looking at a lot of volatility in terms of demand, and therefore, the entire sector is reeling under some pressure. Asian Paints at 486. Should it be averaged at this level, or is there more downside?
No, Sakshi, I think there is more downside. And the way the stock has been correcting all the pain stocks, I think you should wait. As far as Berger is concerned, 455, 460 is a good area to look at averaging. Not before that. Wait for the stocks to turn around. These stocks are still not turn around. We are not seeing any turnaround in these stocks. So wait out for a turnaround in Berger Paints, Asian Paints before you start nibbling into these stocks.
Okay, got it. Next, Preetam का सवाल है, IDFC First Bank. I bought these shares. I'm having around 2,000 shares of IDFC First Bank. And what would your suggestion be? Should I be really looking at averaging the stock right now, or should I hold or sell? What would your suggestion be? The purchase price is 75 rupees for Preetam. Right now, the stock is hovering at around 64.6.
I think it's actually continue to hold. This is one stock which is, though it has seen a bit of a correction, but in the recent sharp fall that we're seeing in the market, this is holding ground. And somehow I feel this is one of the small banks, private sector banks, which will turn around the moment we see an uptick in the market. So at current levels, it's a hold. If you're looking to average, you can look at averaging as well. Keep a stop loss just below 55 odd levels, which was the
Okay.
recent low. I think that is a strong support area. And on the upside, you can again see 100 levels in the stock in next 6 months to about a year's time.
Okay, got it. Next, we'll take another question, and this is from Anuj Singh, and he says, "Is it a good time to enter Suzlon at 55 odd levels, and can it achieve a 100 rupees target?" Very, very difficult question, Arun. Over there, Suzlon has been an outperformer again. It's been rising from lower single two digits, in fact, lower double digits to all the way up to 80 and beyond levels as well. One way up move for all those holding in single digits also have made so much money in Suzlon this year. But if you're someone who actually entered at higher levels, is something now that the question really comes into what next. And currently, we'll ask Aditya, is it a good time to invest in Suzlon?
Not really, Sakshi. I will wait some more time before
Yeah.
before I see any kind of a turnaround in the stock. And we have been discussing that these stocks are trading at extreme premium valuations, and Suzlon was one of them. And it's still at current level. It's trading at a premium valuation, and all these renewable energy stocks have taken a beating post the re-election of Trump in US. And there's a negative sentiment around all these renewable energy companies and stocks, especially your solar panel companies.
Yeah.
And even though Suzlon is into wind, but I think there is some more pain which is left in the stock. Don't be in a hurry to buy or average at current levels. Maybe closer to about 50, or let the stock settle down and see an uptick. Then maybe it will be a good idea to buy again. And I'm not looking at 100 in a hurry as well in the stock. Maybe
Okay.
85, 80 is something that I will be looking at.
Okay, 100 is not going to be coming up in a hurry, and this stock is going to be probably an avoid at the current levels. Wait for some more time. Don't be in a hurry to invest in this. Swati is with us on the phone line from Jalandhar in Punjab. Hi Swati, good afternoon. कैसी हैं आप?
हेलो मैम, थैंक यू मेरा
जी
कॉल लेने
बताइए.
के लिए।
जरूर
हाँ जी
बताइए,
सर,
क्या स्टॉक है आपके
मैम मेरे
पास?
पास पार ड्रग एंड केमिकल है मेरे पास @ 303, और एनसीसी है मेरे पास 320 के लेवल पे।
एनसीसी और पार ड्रग्स एंड केमिकल्स, ये
हाँ
शेयर
जी
है
हाँ
आपके
जी।
पास दो। ठीक है।
हाँ हाँ।
पार
और
ड्रग्स
एक
एंड केमिकल्स आपने खरीदा हुआ है अराउंड 303 पर,
300।
फिलहाल ये
हाँ
स्टॉक
जी हाँ जी।
टू
हाँ जी हाँ जी
सेवेंटी टू
थोड़ा।
पर चल रहा है। और आपने जो
हाँ जी
दूसरा
हाँ जी।
स्टॉक बताया एनसीसी, इसका प्राइस बताइए किस लेवल पर खरीदा है?
320 320।
320 पे खरीदा है। चलिए ठीक है,
हाँ जी
आदित्य
हाँ
से
जी।
पूछते हैं कि क्या यहाँ पर राय रहेगी। आदित्य, एनसीसी 285 पर अभी चल रहा है, और अगर हम पार ड्रग्स एंड केमिकल्स की बात करें, ये भी अराउंड 270 पर आ चुका है। दोनों पर सलाह।
साक्षी, सबसे पहले हम एनसीसी की बात कर लेते हैं। स्टॉक में एक करेक्शन है और बहुत एक्सट्रीम ओवरबॉट लेवल्स पे ट्रेड करा था। अनफॉर्चुनेटली इन्होंने पीक पे खरीद लिया और स्टॉक वहां से
बिल्कुल।
अच्छा खासा फॉल आ चुका है। मैं सजेस्ट करूंगा एक स्टॉप लॉस लगाए इस पे, बहुत जरूरी है। 265 का एक स्टॉप लॉस लगा के मेंटेन करे। अगर उसको ब्रीच करता है स्टॉक तो 230 के लेवल्स तक स्लाइड कर सकता है, तो काफी बड़ा फॉल आएगा उस समय। तो 265 का एक स्टॉप लॉस लगाए, वेट करे, अगर वो ब्रीच होता है तो डेफिनेटली एग्जिट करे। अब अगर हम पार ड्रग्स की बात करें तो बहुत वॉलेटाइल है स्टॉक, बहुत ज़्यादा अप मूव डाउन मूव और बहुत बड़े टिक्स देखने मिलते हैं स्टॉक में। विक्स बहुत हाई बड़े बनते हैं इसमें, हाई लो का, तो अवॉइड है ये स्टॉक मेरे लिए। अगर आपके पास, क्योंकि इनके पास ऑलरेडी है, तो मैं एक स्टॉप लॉस सजेस्ट करना चाहूंगा 260 का, और
ठीक है।
260 के स्टॉप लॉस के साथ होल्ड करें। अगर वो ब्रीच करता है तो एग्जिट करे स्टॉक को।
ठीक है, तो स्वाति, दोनों के लिए आपको जो लेवल्स बताए गए हैं ध्यान से देखिए। पार ड्रग्स के लिए खास तौर पर, क्योंकि आपके पास है यहाँ स्टॉप लॉस बताया गया है, उससे नीचे जाते ही सेल करें और बढ़िया स्टॉक्स में निवेश करें। मानस मलिक लिखते हैं, आई साक्षी, गुड आफ्टरनून, आई एम फ्रॉम बैंगलोर, आई वांट टू नो इन दिस फॉलिंग मार्केट शुड आई गो ऑन एन एवरेज माय पोजीशंस और शुड आई वेट फॉर फर्दर fall? That's the biggest question, Manas, that you have asked at this point in time. Most of the investors are reeling under this question. But the big question I think you should be looking at is whether you are with the markets, as in on the Nifty or the Nifty Bank Index level, or are you on stocks specifically. Then this question will have to be broken down further to be seeing which are the stocks that you already have. Some of them Aditya is already looking at in this current chat right now. But Aditya, big question right there. How much money will we have to continue averaging? And you know, it's the most difficult question. How much powder should you keep dry? How much can you be like fully invested in? How would you address this question?
So actually, this is one question like we were talking about some time back. It's difficult
Yeah,
to answer because it's a falling market and you don't want to catch a falling knife, because you
exactly.
don't know how deep it will cut you through. And if you have already invested completely, then you just sit and watch your stocks bleed. So this is a bit difficult question. But my one suggestion would be look at building a long-term portfolio. And if you're looking at buying into creating a portfolio, stick to large caps at the moment, because I
Yeah,
still feel there is a good bit of profit booking which is still due in the mid cap and the small cap space. Look at chemical names, look at IT names, look at some of the large banks, private sector banks, PSU banks. And as we mentioned, start in a staggered manner. Start with 25% of your overall corpus and start buying into now. Even if you're looking to average, don't average all in one go. Start 25% averaging now, and maybe as and when the market starts to fall, keep on averaging 25% more and 25% more. I think the
correct.
last 25% should be averaged when you see a turnaround in the market. When the market's bottomed out, you see higher levels in the market. It's okay buying the last 25 at higher levels, but at that point of time, you'll be confident that markets have turned around and you were buying at a time when markets have started to go higher. So the last 25% should always be bought when markets have already bottomed out and started to making higher highs, higher lows.
Okay, got it. Let's take the next question now. This question is from Anuj Singh, and he says, मैम मैंने जोमेटो के शेयर्स लिए हुए हैं, तो क्या इसको अभी होल्ड करके रखना है या फिर सेल कर देना है? और इन्होंने जो शेयर है 558 पर लिया हुआ है, ये कह रहे हैं जोमेटो के शेयर को। फिलहाल 260 पर चल रहा है जोमेटो का शेयर। इनफैक्ट अगर हम देखें जोमेटो के शेयर प्राइस हिस्ट्री को, लॉन्ग टर्म चार्ट्स एक बार ही देख लेते हैं जोमेटो के लिए। ऑफ कोर्स दिस हैज़ बीन वन ऑफ द स्टॉक्स which has gone through a long time phase correction in the first part after its listing, and then it's also gone through a lot of uptick as well. It came down to around 40-50 odd levels, and from there on it's been a one-way rally. In fact, almost 300 odd levels is what we have already witnessed on Zomato, and now it's down from those highs as well to around 260 odd levels. Your own sense of how should one look at Zomato? This question is also important because today itself Swiggy has made its debut, and Swiggy's debut was in fact just 8% premium. Let's pull up Swiggy's share if we already have it in our database. And then it came down a little. It came almost to its IPO level as well, and it suddenly shot up 13%. So it's at 441 right now. So how should one be really reading into this food delivery space right now? It's getting very difficult to now pick and choose between Zomato and Swiggy.
It's getting very cluttered, Sakshi. And to be honest, if you're looking at long-term investment, I'm not too gung-ho in this entire space. I'll be very
Okay.
honest. It's because government is also pushing with ONDC. There's a lot of talk
Yes.
about ONDC. And if those platform comes across and government pushes that platform, it could mean some kind of a business dampener for these food delivery businesses, which is Zomato and Swiggy. Having said that, yes, there is some business, and I do see some kind of an opportunity in these companies. Zomato can be bought at current levels with a stop loss at 240 for a target of 280, 300. I think just got his buying price wrong because stock has never touched 500 plus levels. If I talk about Swiggy, there is a good discount and a good arbitrage opportunity, Sakshi, because Swiggy is trading at a steep discount to Zomato, and we know that though Zomato is a profitable business already, Swiggy is yet to turn profitable. But
Yeah.
that difference is not that starking as compared to the discounting valuation that we are seeing in Swiggy and Zomato. So if I have to pick one between Swiggy and Zomato, just by going by the valuation front, I think Swiggy offers more comfort at current levels, and you can see levels of 550 to 600 on Swiggy. Even then, it will trade at a deep discount to Zomato. Because Zomato is trading somewhere around, I think, 25 or $20 billion, and Swiggy is trading at a steep discount of maybe say somewhere around, I guess, 13-14 billion dollars. So there's a steep discount there. So Swiggy would give you more comfort and room on the upside as compared to Zomato from current levels.
Okay, got it. So that's the overview. In fact, we also have Kunal Rambia joining in. Let's actually get in on this Swiggy versus Zomato conversation. Kunal also on board to see how is he really looking at the food delivery space. As a consumer, Kunal, are you more, you order more on Zomato or on Swiggy? First, tell us that. And did you also apply on for Swiggy IPO? Did you get the allotment? Tell us that also.
All right. Good afternoon. Thank you so much for having me on the show. So I'm not really a big fan of this food delivery chain business as such. But
Okay,
as
both
far as the
Aditya
shares
and
are
Kunal are
concerned,
not very happy with Swiggy and
yeah.
Zomato right now. Okay.
So I'm a bit cautious on the buying the goods, I mean the food from the market like this. But yeah, if at all, yeah, if I just talk about Zomato or Swiggy, so yeah, Zomato seems amazing. I mean, if you remember just Sakshi last week discussion when we had, I had mentioned that if the counter falls below 230, 235 levels, then we'll have to be extremely cautious. But otherwise, the trend is very much intact. And what we saw was just in a week, from the lows of those 238, 239, the counter is back to 260 levels, and the trend is absolutely intact.
Yeah.
Though it's in sideways consolidation right now, and this sideways consolidation is on since August, the sideways consolidation is absolutely fine. But if someone wants to go positional, I think this counter can definitely be bought into. The stop loss which one needs to maintain is 235. I will not be really keen to initiate trade on Swiggy for now because we gave a lot of importance to technicals in the beginning.
Yeah.
So considering that, I'll avoid this counter for now. But otherwise, Zomato is a big thumbs up.
Okay, so Vijay has quickly asked this question. He's got 2 lots of Swiggy at 390. Congratulations to you, Vijay. At least आपको ये जो 2 lots मिले हैं, आपको उसमें profit काफ़ी बढ़िया हो रहा है on day 1. अभी भी 12% ऊपर ये trade कर रहा है और 437 के levels हैं. Now he wants to know, should I hold on or should I book profits? That's the trickiest question. Book कर लें क्या अभी, Kunal?
So again, if I look at the relative performance, the way Zomato has performed and it's going on right now, I think one can definitely hold on to this position. Not much of a worry. If there is a capital constraint, तो शायद एक lot book करके the remaining can be held on to. But until and unless there is a negative trend on either of the counters, I think one should stay on to the counter. So Swiggy is, as of now, you can hold on. शायद चाहिए तो थोड़ा सा प्रॉफिट बुक करके एक लॉट से कैपिटल रिकवर कर लीजिए. Remaining you can hold on to.
Okay, partial profits book करने की सलाह यहाँ पर दे रहे हैं. Okay, we'll take the last question with you, Aditya, before we let you go and continue our conversation with Kunal right there. Now, this question is on Nalco from Suyash. He says that he has 300 shares at 150. Should he hold or should he sell? Again, from the metals pack, Nalco has actually been a good performer. It really had some very good days in the recent past. Your sense now?
So if he's looking for a trading bet, he should definitely look at booking profits because is sitting on a good, decent profit. If he's looking at long-term investment and holding on to it, then he can continue to hold because stock is still in an uptrend. There could be some bit of a cool down all the way down to 210. But apart from that, I think stock is good to hold if you're a long-term investor. If you're a trader, then definitely look to book profits at current levels.
Understood. Okay, thank you so much, Aditya, for being with
Pleasure,
us on the
Sakshi.
show and for addressing all those queries of our viewers. Always a pleasure to host you. Thank
Thank
you.
you for having me.
All right, Kunal, we have a lot of other questions right there. Got that. So we'll have another question that's coming in from one of our viewers. This is Davinder Singh. He says Coal India के 50 share price 50 shares हैं, share price 495. My view is long term for 2 years perspective. What would your view be? Coal India. How would you look at this one? This has had a good set of run up in the first part of 2024. Now at around 408 odd levels. What would you suggest? It's cooled off from those highs of 495.
Sakshi, you made my conversation a little easy by highlighting 2024 ka rally. Now, this breakout was actually somewhere in September, where the counter in a week went up crazy. There was almost, bounce of around 20%. So precisely on the 4th of September itself, 2023. And since then, the counter went up by almost 120%. What's happening on the counter right now is that if you look at entire year of 2024, since beginning till now, the bottom was 405, it went up to 540 and it's back to 400 levels again. If the counter breaks below 400 levels, then one needs to turn cautious because the view of our investor is positional. I will share a couple of support levels with him. The first is below 400, the first is 365, and below that is going to be straight away 325. So these are the levels to watch out for. Trend is absolutely strong, but this correction cannot be ruled out because of such a massive rally. So buy on dip can be good strategy. Keep the levels of 400 first in mind, and then second 365. And again, come to BTTV and ask your doubt. I think for 365 can be good level to accumulate, and at that time, we'll recommend you the same again.
Okay, got it. Next, Gunjan says, I have bought Sri Renuka Sugars at 54 levels. Can I hold or should I average at the current levels? It has cooled off quite a bit. I think it's now trading around 35, 38 odd levels. Your own sense, Kunal, on sugar space, yeah, 40 odd levels. She's bought this at 54. Do you think is there any scene with the respect of wedding season having started, will the demand for sugar yet again spur some of these stocks higher?
So I'm sure these all stocks were bought in somewhere in the month of September, end of September, where Renuka specifically went up to 54, 55, but it again came down to this 40 levels. 40 is the best level to accumulate. Why so? Because again, historical data says that since March 2022 so far, so it's almost 2.5 years, this counter has never gone below 40 level. Right now, it's available near to 40 itself. I would definitely advise to take some, position, new fresh position at this level. Stop loss of this entire position has to be at around 38. 37, let's keep it at 37. If it goes below 37 and closes below 37, take an exit, but otherwise this is a good level to average out. And in bounds, the new position which you have created near 40, you should be exiting near 47, 48. That should be the good strategy. Hold on to your old position because trend is not negative, but I think this is a good level to average the position.
Okay, got that. I hope this has answered your question, Gunjan. Rishikesh has sent a very good question. He says, hello ma'am, I'm not asking any stock specific question, but I want to overall understand. I personally entered the market 3 years ago and I have only seen bull markets thus far. What should a mid-term investor really do at this point in time, and how to manage the kind of anxiety I have to feeling in this current correction? Rishikesh, you're not alone. A lot of those first time investors who entered post COVID have actually seen only the bright side of the markets, only one way upward rally. We've actually not seen any correction that lasted maybe beyond a week odd or so. This is the time when you've seen the markets enter sharply, about 10 odd percent on the benchmark index level, and over 10% even in the mid and the small caps level, and also a time wise correction which has spanned now 5 weeks almost. Let's find out from Kunal what his view is right there. Good question. This is likely to benefit all the viewers who may be having this and yet not have come up with this question. Kunal, what would you really advise somebody who's been studying the markets for fairly long time? How should one be really looking at this after 3 years, a first time long time frame as well as price correction?
Honestly, Sakshi, this is the only question which I'm answering since a week to all my investors also. Now, look at
Yes.
the overall trend of the market. Since bottom of 2020, we saw 4 corrections. This is the 5th correction. Now, the first correction came somewhere in the month of June 2022, where the market was down by around 18%. The second correction came somewhere in Feb 23, where the market was down by around 11%. Third correction was in October 23, where the market was down by 8%. And the fourth one was very sharp and minor, and that was on 4th and 3rd and 4th of June because of election results. The ongoing correction so far is showing us the levels of 11% correction from the high. So we have seen such kind of corrections multiple times in the past, but what is unique is that this time the mid cap is bleeding, the small cap is just butchered down. The large caps are doing fairly okay because they have not done anything in the last 3 years anyway. So most of the counters are in sideways. So anyone who has entered the market post COVID and seeing this correction as a first time, remember, trend matters. And that's what Sakshi, me, and even Shell sir keeps discussing in the evening show also, right? That whenever there is a correction, that's the time where the risk reward ratio for the longs is favorable. We should be initiating the trades at that point in time. Let's just take an example of Renuka. The counter which was trading at 54, you initiated buy at that level, your stop loss at 40. Now this counter is available at 40. We should be accumulating now. Take an example of ONGC. It's available near to the support level itself with 4 to 5 point stop loss. One can initiate buy. Same is the case with PFC, REC. These all counters are looking attractive because the trend is positive. So give importance to the trend. Don't get nervous and excited because these emotions actually kill people from the market. Better focus on the trend, find out favorable risk reward ratio, and stay on to the market. Even if Nifty comes down by 500 points more from the
Yeah.
present level, believe me, the trend will remain positive. So keep that in mind and strategize yourself accordingly.
Wonderful. Thank you so much, Kunal. I'm sure this is going to really help a lot of our viewers who had this question too. Next, we'll start taking some more questions that are coming in from our viewers. This is from one of our viewers who wants to know on Birla Soft. He's bought the stock at 780. He wants to know an average price. Do you think after this recent rally and the consolidation that's played out, now is the right time to average, or should one wait?
See, again, Sakshi, this counter since October 2023, that's almost a year, tested this 550 mark almost 3 times. This is the 4th time where the counter is reaching near 550 mark. Perfect level to initiate the trade. But remember, if the counter declines further and goes below 535, the view will completely change. Otherwise, the risk reward is favorable. If someone wants to play momentum, the in-house breakout level which we have placed is 585. Above 585, one can initiate a momentum trade. If someone wants to go ahead with long-term view, I think 555 is the best level to accumulate. There is no trouble on the trend so far.
Okay, got it. Next, Ankur Modi writes in, he says, I have SBFC Finance at the rate of 87. What would you suggest? Despite a good quarter, the stock continues to fall. So what should I be doing on SBFC Finance?
We mean to say HDFC AMC or
No,
HDFC Finance?
this is SBFC Finance, and I will
Sorry.
just give you the current
Yeah, got
level
it.
also. You have it? Okay, so 82.
Yeah, I got it.
Yeah.
Now, see, since inception, I mean, I have never tracked this company. I'm just looking at the chart for the first time. Since
Okay.
inception, look at the sideways consolidation. On the higher side, counter has never crossed 95 on a closing basis. And on the lower side, what I can see is 80 as a good support level. Right now, it's trading near to 82. So looking at this last 1 year and 3 months of consolidation, I think 80 is a good level to initiate trade. The stop here should be 77. If it goes below 77, take an exit. And on the higher side, once it reaches near 91, 92, I think one can take an exit. This range trade is been available in last 13 months for 4 to 5 times. I think because our viewer is already tracking it. So with this particular stop loss, I think he'll also agree to initiate trade on the higher side, take exit near 90 levels, 92 levels. I think this can be a good 10 to 12% trade.
Okay, got that. Let's take the next question now. This is from Imran Shah and he's from Kandivali in Mumbai. And he says, I want to buy Tata Motors shares. When should I make the purchase? What would you suggest? It's been slipping below 800 levels now. Any key levels that you could look at?
Wonderful. Actually, this is the counter which has been discussed a lot. And
Yeah.
what first, after a long time, I'm answering a question is when should I initiate a buy? People are talking
Yeah.
about the support level. So
Yeah.
for him, I think the risk reward ratio is extremely favorable compared to the last rally from 600 levels to 1200. This
Yeah.
counter is right now near to 785, 787. It's extremely favorable risk reward ratio for someone who wants to go positional. Keep two levels in mind. The first is 775 and below that the level will be 725. I think this can be a good demand zone. The trend on the overall chart remains positive. Short term trend is certainly negative, but because the view is long term, these are two levels to keep in mind and think of accumulating in parts. I think the trend might just continue going forward. By any chance, if it declines further, please revisit again, come to the channel and ask your doubt. But till then, I think this counter can be accumulated for long term.
Okay, this stock could be accumulated. Keep an eye out on the downward levels that Kunal has just mentioned for all of you. Arihant asks on Ujjivan Small Finance Bank. He has the stock at 48 levels. What could be the average level here? Ujjivan Small Finance Bank.
The only positive what I can see on chart Sakshi is that December 2022 high was around 32, 33, and that was a breakout level. And post that the counter went crazily to almost double the levels. It has reached the same level again.
Yeah.
Chart on the lower time frame is negative, on the higher time frame is also negative, but the only ray of hope is this 32 mark. If the counter manages to stay above 32, hold on to it. But if the counter slips below 30 levels, 32 or 30 levels, then be a little cautious. And probably, then I'll say that take an exit for now. Probably after making a consolidation, if it's continuing again, or say it's starting a new upward rally, we'll capture at that point in time.
Okay, I hope Arihan this has answered your question. Mukund Sharma says, I have bought Vari Energies at 3,590. It's now gone down to 2,879. So should I hold or should I keep? And how long should I hold, if at all? And why is energy sector really facing all these losses? What could be the reason? You're right, this stock had actually had a stupendous run in the week following its listing, and the stock had been, I think, next 2-3 days it shot up in double digits as well and reached to the top. You bought it right at the top. So you need to understand that after good listing, and on top of that next few days it really rallied and you bought it right at the peak. Any suggestion that you would have on Vari Energies? What should be done?
Absolutely. So this is the counter which we also bought, and the buying price was right above the first day high, and that
Okay.
level was 2650. Why 2650?
Wonderful.
Because after the first listing, the 3 days of consolidation and the fourth day it gave a breakout. So our initiating was at 2650. Since then the counter went up to 3700 and it has come down. It's right now holding on to 61.8% retracement level. Now this level is 2870. On chart you can see that's 2870. So keeping 2850 as a stop loss, I think one can think of buying at this level. If someone has already
Okay.
accumulated the counter at the peak, I think this correction can be a good buying opportunity from long term point of view. There are no major selling volumes on the chart, so this correction definitely can be bought into. The stop loss of this, as I mentioned, has to be 2750. So sorry, 2800. So below 2800 one should take an exit, but otherwise one can hold on to this.
Okay, got that. So I hope this has answered your question, Mukund, on Vari Energies as well. Please do look at it as an opportunity to further average your position at these current levels, and definitely keep an eye out on the stop loss as well. Okay, Preetham mentions, I'm Preetham from Kolkata. I've bought around 4,600 shares of SpiceJet. what would your view be on SpiceJet right now? And I'll tell you the levels he's bought, 70.17. What should I do now is the question. Again, one of the stocks which has been reeling under a lot of troubles financially, regulatory concerns. Also, there is a lack of clarity as far as the future or a steady fundamental position is concerned for SpiceJet, because we are actually looking at the aviation space, which is limited to a monopoly, which is Indigo, which has been consistently a profitable company and has been performing as well. How would you look at SpiceJet?
Certainly, as you mentioned, there is always a trouble in front in terms of clarity of the business going forward and the
Correct.
way the consolidation is happening in the industry, right? So, but at the same time, the price is also reflecting the same thing. It's been almost 1 year. The counter is just in sideways consolidation, resistance being 72, and on the lower side we have a support at 50 levels. Right now, it's at 55. So hold on to it. Unless this counter closes above 70, 75 zone, I think this sideways consolidation might just continue. For now, hold on to this counter. By any chance, in a day or two, if you find a dip coming in and the counter reaches near 50 level, I'll suggest you to average out with the stop loss of 48 or 47. And if the consolidation continues, you can expect the target of 60. Don't buy at this level. Let's wait for the bargain buying opportunity near 50. But for now, just hold on to it.
Got it. We'll take the last question with you, Kunal, on the show. This is from Peter Raj. He has two stocks in his portfolio. Bajaj Steel. No, he actually wants a fresh entry. Bajaj Steel and Pakka Limited. Pakka Limited is trading at 298 odd levels. And I think the stock's market cap is 1.3 thousand crores as well. The stock's high, all-time high is 399. Its 52-week low is around 211 odd levels. And the other one is Bajaj Steel. Those of stocks which we don't track on a daily basis. So I'm just going to be reading out the prices. 895 for this one. And in the last 1 year or so, the stock has in fact done very well. 222% surge on Bajaj Steel is what we have seen in the last 1 year. One-way rally right from May of 2024 is what we've seen, from 318 all the way up to 895. Bajaj Steel and Pakka Limited, what would you suggest, Kunal?
So honestly, Bajaj Steel, yes, I have checked earlier also, but
Okay.
Pakka Limited is something which I'm looking at it for the first time. Though the trend is absolutely intact, it's positive, but it's sideways consolidating right now. That's absolutely fine. The support one needs to keep in mind is 275, and below that, I think 240 levels. So 275 and 240 are the two levels where investor can think of accumulating, because there is panic in the market. I think this buying opportunity might just come anytime soon. So don't initiate at random prices. Just wait for the price to reach near these two mentioned levels. Bajaj Steel is just one way rally. The massive volume was also noticed somewhere in September and October, near to 860 mark, and since then the counter has more or less remained above that level. One opportunity came near 720. Now, as we saw in Zomato, Bajaj Steel can also be bought during correction itself, so that we can have a favorable risk reward ratio. The support on the chart is near 800. Right now it's trading near 900. So wait for the price correction of around 100 points and think of accumulating near 800, so that even if there is further correction, we can find out good exit levels also, right? So let's not buy at higher level. Wait for the price to dip near 800 levels to accumulate Bajaj Steel.
All right. Well, thank you so much, Kunal, for being with us on this show to address all those queries from
Absolutely,
our
my pleasure.
viewers. Thank you so much. Always appreciate your time. And viewers,
Thank you
thank you
so
so
much.
much for writing into us. In case some of your questions could not be addressed, keep them. We will be addressing all of those in tomorrow's trading session as well. But don't go away. Let's listen in to my colleague Pavan Nahar, who has collated a list of brokerage houses' take on Swiggy after it has got listed. Now, in case you have been having this Swiggy as part of your IPO allocation, then also what should be the strategy that you should have, or if you're looking at a fresh in the listing space, should you be looking at Swiggy, is something that we will be discussing just now. Pavan, of course, the listing happened just at an 8% premium. It also went down to about 395, very, very close to that IPO price band as well. But it suddenly has shot up 12-13% now. It's hovering around 342 odd levels. What are the brokerages saying on Swiggy?
So, Sakshi, good afternoon. And the Swiggy, which issued its shares at 390 rupees, and saw some post-listing buying interest and was hovering around 450 levels in the afternoon trade today earlier. So yes, it is not less than a surprise for investors in the current market scenario where investors could make up to 15% return on the listing day itself. So yes, it has delivered a positive surprise for the investors. So the company raised 11,327 crores, but the issue saw subscription of roughly around 3.6 times. So what the brokerages are saying? So brokerage firms continue to have a mixed view on this stock. JM Financial, which has recently initiated its coverage on the stock with a buy rating and the target price of 470, one should note that the stock has hit the 450 mark today, and it's just a few steps behind its target price of JM Financial. So what JM says that the food delivery business has a duopoly. Only two players are existing in this business, Swiggy and Zomato, and this will ensure a steady growth and profit for the company. But the Instamart business has a lot to do, and the broader retail, and it has an immense potential to grow. Macquarie, on the other hand, it has initiated a coverage with an underperform rating and a target price of 325, which is quite below the issue price of 390. Because the brokerage sees that there's a bumpy ride for the profitability, and it is facing a stiff competition from Zomato. Macquarie says that quick commerce business is complex, and it has raised question on the profitability, sustainability of the profits in the quick commerce business. Mehta Equities, Prashant Tapse from Mehta Equities, he has said that investors should continue, the risk-taking investors should continue to hold the shares of Swiggy for a longer term, and investors who want to make a fresh investment should wait for some time to price to settle down. And if there is some volatility or profit booking in the stock after the listing, then one should look at the opportunities to make fresh entry. Shivani Nyati, she also has a similar views, and those who are holding the stock for a short-term views, Shivani Nyati from Swastika Investmart, she said that investors should keep a stop loss of 390 rupees, which is the issue price for this IPO. That's all from my side, Sakshi.
Okay, Pawan, thank you so much for giving us all of those brokerage houses takes. I hope viewers, you've got those list of experts views coming in on Swiggy, and you will be able to take an informed decision whether you have got the allocation or if you're looking at Swiggy afresh at the current levels as well. But do also speak to your own financial expert before taking that view. This is just to help you understand what are the top most brokerage houses really saying about the new debutant on street today. Markets not really looking good. It's now slipped even below 23,700, 23,680, a 200 point of a cut. That's a down almost 0.8%. The Nifty Bank is now 480 points lower. It's given up 51,000 now, 50,679, almost a percent lower in the trade right now. As far as the most of the sectors, in fact, all of them are down in trade. Sharp losses being seen on the real estate index, 2.7% lower. Metals down 2.5%. Small caps down 2.3%. You have autos that have dragged by about 2%. Mid caps down 2%. PSU banks, all the sectors which are down by over 1%. You can actually clearly see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. It's almost 12 indices that are down by over a percent in trade today. The only stocks on the Nifty that are still holding up are NTPC, Trent, Britannia, Tata Motors, HUL, Titan. Rest all of the stocks are now down. Hindalco has lost about 4%. Eicher Motors, Hero Moto, Tata Steel, M&M and JSW Steel are the top losers at this point in time. We'll see how it really goes, and we will be continuing to keep you posted with all the market moves. Stay tuned with us on Business Today Television. There's a lot more that's coming up on your screens. Hello and welcome. You're watching Business Today Television. I'm Sakshi Batra and this is the earnings special edition. Our focus is on Bank of India's Q2 numbers. It's a reported strong set of numbers on the bottom line, a 63% or a year-on-year jump in net profit to 2,374 odd crores. This was backed by a 49% surge in the non-interest income as well. Remember, the NII has also expanded by 4% year-on-year to 5,986 crores in Q2. This is as compared to 5,740 crores in the same quarter last year. What we have also, however, seen is that the NIM has declined to 2.82% as compared to 3.08% in Q2 of FY24. The asset quality profile, however, has improved. On the gross NPA level, it's declined to 4.4% from 5.8% a year ago. And what we've also seen is that the net NPA has declined from about 1.54% in the September quarter of 2024, whereas it has now come to 0.94% in September of 2024.